Hello everyone, this is Chrism, and I'd like to welcome you to this conversation about your Kundalini awakening experiences. And today, I'd like to talk with you about blockages. Everybody's going to have some kind of blockage. They're going to, in somewhere, someplace on their body, a blockage is going to appear. And I'm going to adjust this coat. I better bring it down. Sorry. Terrible production. All right. My apologies. Everybody's going to have blockages somewhere on their body when the Kundalini comes to call and comes to transform that person's body into a vessel that can hold divine grace. Typically, this isn't going to be painless. Okay, sometimes you're going to have pain with it. And often, that pain can come as shocks, little electric shocks that are going up and down the body, or something that you can feel, some sort of a blockage that you feel the energy trying to go around and hitting it directly and causing the person to have some pain. Sometimes it'll happen in the joints, like a shoulder or an ankle or a knee or a hip, any of the joint areas, where it's really tight on the body. Like, what I mean by tight is like, ball and socket type. And it can be painful at times. Now, you don't always have to have this. It's not a guarantee for everybody. I didn't have a lot of blockages, but I had enough to know what I'm talking about. So you're going to have these. Nothing is wrong. I know that a lot of times this will rush a person to the emergency room, thinking that the blockage is actually some sort of a medical issue, and it isn't. It's not a medical issue. It is an issue of energy wanting to go a certain direction up the body, and the positioning of the body needing to be transformed or changed. And so, it becomes a very important thing, because a lot of times you'll feel a certain response from the body to a blockage. So the energy's coming up and it hits the blockage, and then it causes a bubble to come up in the blockage. Like, there's the bubble right there. Causes that bubble to come up in the blockage, and it just, for a while, it's just constantly hitting it. Boom, boom, boom. And this part here can be feeling some pain. It's not a guarantee, but, sometimes that part of the blockage is going to be feeling some pain. And so it's important to understand that nothing is wrong. Far more is going right than is going wrong. If you have a blockage, well, and the energy is impacting it, as I was showing you, the very fact of that is that you have the Kundalini, and that is a true blessing. That is a wonderful thing to have happen to a person. And so, with that in mind, when you feel the energy hitting that blockage, you can rejoice for the fact that, wow, I am inside of that transformation. And it's a good opportunity to show some gratitude for the grace that is, transforming you into a vessel or a cup that can hold the divine energy. So when you feel these blockages, really the first best thing to do is to surrender to it. Don't try to fight it. So many of us try to fight. We get our ego involved and we try to fight. I want the old body back, which isn't going to happen. Okay, I want the old body back. I want my old life back. I want everything being just as it was. And that's typically not going to happen. So, you need to understand that, really. Really, you need to understand that because it is a truth. And the other aspect of that truth is that the blockage is a good thing. It's showing you in real time the transformation that's occurring for you. Important aspects. Uh, some people will feel that the kriyas are a form of blockage. And really, that would be true and not true at the same time. A kriya, let's say you have a shaking kriya here, these are kriyas too, and it would be the action that is causing, the hand to shake. So the energy is infusing the hand is responding. Okay, it's kind of like it's like a magnet picking up a nail. Okay, the whole nail is suffused with the magnetism. And you'll see it if you ever play with magnetism. It's like boom, it'll come straight up and you'll actually see it having its own little magnetic kriya there. And it's very similar with the Kundalini on our body as well, which is why we go into the kriyas. We have the shaking kriyas. Kathy is asking me, will we have a sensation on the 11th? Well, the 11th of the month, or, what 11 are you talking about, Kathy? And hello to everybody who's watching this live. Hello, Andrea, Buche, Cindy, Janice, hello. Cindy's writing, no pain, no gain. And, that's a truism within Kundalini. Sometimes you're just going to have the pain, knowing that you're gaining with this. But as I mentioned before, it's not always a painful issue. Sometimes it's just something that feels unresolved. So you have the energy compact, you have that pressure on the blockage, and sometimes it just takes time for that part of the body to transform. It just takes time. And, within that context, you give it the surrender that is needed. It's like oiling the machinery, so to speak. You give it the surrender that is needed, and that time can be drastically reduced. Another thing that can really help with some of these blockages is yoga. Any kind of hatha yoga. Does not have to be Kundalini yoga. Kundalini yoga isn't really about Kundalini. It's about some guy calling it Kundalini, so no. Some guy in the late 60s and 70s. So any kind of yoga will work, like hatha yoga will work. I'm talking not so much, no, I have to say any of it will. I was going to say not bhakti yoga, but bhakti yoga is the yoga of love, and so of course that will help blockages. I'm speaking more along the lines of, say, Raja Yoga or white Hatha Yoga. Any of these types of yogas can be very, very beneficial to the person having the kriyas and having the blockages. But you don't want to think that it's all about the physical movement. It's about your mindset. It's about your heart set. It's like, how are you approaching the Kundalini? Are you trying to control it? Are you trying to manipulate it? Is your ego so involved with it that it's trying to control the process? Are you surrendering to it? Are you giving love and life and happiness to it and gratitude? Where are you going when you feel the blockage? What kind of an attitude are you having? And is it beneficial? Are you going, oh my God, it's in my knees, and it's like this big bump there in my knee, and I just can't get rid of it. Oh my God, I got to go to the doctor. What's going to last longer? Okay, all right. So I wanted to cover that because it is so common. 90% of the people are going to have some sort of a blockage that will come up into them, and they will actually feel a disharmony upon the body, a disunion. And it's only the only disunion that's really happening is the change from a mortal body to a divine body. and back again, because we only get to be half divine with the Kundalini, because you're still living in this world. You're still eating, you're still sleeping, you're still, walking, you're still creating any of the karma that life creates. When you walk on the grass, you might step on a worm or something like that, something microbial. So you don't get to be fully divine and on this world at the same time. And I know that's going to step on some of these New Age toes. It's like, what do you mean we're all divine? Okay. So know this. Now, when you eat a certain food and you receive a kind of like an indigestion with it, or or even a pain, a stinging type of pain, that's the Kundalini telling you not to eat that food. Okay, it's not so much a blockage as it is a communication. Now, of course, you can see all blockages as levels of communication from your grace to you, because you're the recipient, you're the one who's feeling it. So there is that, but it's, Kundalini will often use blockages as a form of teaching, a form of internal teaching that a person can receive and learn from. And so it really is a good idea to start listening to yourself in a very real way and very, very internal way. I'm feeling like, so let's see, you're thinking of somebody in your family and it's like, whoa, maybe you got a lot of emotion around that person. Maybe it's anger or resentment, or maybe they've done something to you and you're just not ready to forgive them yet. Well, boom, you'll have some sort of a blockage manifesting there in the heart, and that'll be something for you to work on. She's not going to just rip your heart open and say, change or die. No. She's going to give you an opportunity over and over and over and over again to change, to transform yourself with the assistance of the Sacred Mother, of the Sacred Divine Feminine. Very important for you to remember this. Another aspect of this will be sleeping. You're going to need to sleep a little bit more than your normal usage, or less than the normal time that you sleep. This can be also seen as a form of a kriya in a way, because the vitality in the body is changing, and with the change of the vitality comes the change in the energetic processing of day-to-day events and levels of attention, levels of focus, levels of activity. And you need to understand that, these changes are natural, these are normal, nothing is wrong. You don't have chronic fatigue syndrome unless you're bringing that onto yourself by drinking coffee or black tea or anything with caffeine in it. You're maxing out on your stimulants, any kind of stimulant. Legal or illegal. You don't want to be doing that and having the Kundalini. You don't want to be doing any recreational stuff. So, those things can also form a blockage. And so it's very important for people to understand the dynamic of blockages within the Kundalini is a very positive event. It's showing you that it's there and that it's teaching you how to resolve the blockage. It's not always a physical thing. It's physical, it's emotional, it's mental, it's psychological, and it's spiritual all at the same time. Because you can get blockages within Kundalini that are karma in nature. It's a karmic issue. And, and there you're just going to have to pay that debt in whatever way that karma debt is expressing through you. And the Kundalini will assist this. It will aid this and it will assist this. And nothing is wrong, once again. So know this and absorb this and realize this. And do not have the worry that when a blockage comes up, a lot of times people will get a blockage in the fifth chakra here, and they'll feel like a part of their throat has raised, and the Kundalini and the energy keeps hitting it, and they can feel the fifth chakra wanting to expand, wanting to open itself, but it's hitting that blockage. And there are certain levels of truth that a person needs to manifest in order to resolve that blockage. And a lot of that is going to be emotional. A lot of that is going to be emotional. A lot of that is going to be psychologically, emotionally expressive. And so you need to go into the emotions in that kind of a blockage in order to resolve it. Another kind of blockage is that feeling of incompleteness. It's just like, gosh, it's just not right, and you just need to go into a meditation and ask the Kundalini what it wants you to do. Sometimes you'll feel the tongue going into Kachari mudra or the Kali mudra, the lingual mudras. Most of the time it'll be behind your upper front teeth. And if you're not keeping it there, try keeping it there, and you'll feel a different level of focus on the any of the blockages that you might have in this area here, or actually any area in the body, since the tongue tip is a master switch with regards to the energy dispersal between the skull and the torso. So these are some things I just wanted to mention about blockages. Sexual blockages. You may not be able to have sex at all. No sex. And nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. It's just at this time the energies are being diverted into other areas. And you want to kind of give up this fixation you have on being able to have sex or self-stimulate or whatever it is you do whenever you want to do it. You are no longer completely in charge of your energy. Grace is also in charge of your energy now. And she may let you do some things. She may not let you do some things. And so nothing is permanent unless Grace wants it to be. And then you're going to have a hard time, starting that fire up again. And so, really don't resist. If she's taking sex out of the equation for the time being, you need to just let that be out of the equation for the time being. Yeah, nothing's wrong. Talk to your spouse. I know that can cause a lot of problems between couples. So talk to your beloved and just explain to him or her that, hey, I've got the Kundalini, and the Kundalini's rechanneling this energy at the time, and I'm not able to make love with you the same way that we're always used to. But you can do it in other ways. There are other ways to go besides just the normal, genital route. So look at that. She may block you from having certain foods. She may block you from having too much sugar or eating a certain type of vegetable or fruit. Or those blockages are not typically permanent, although the ego likes to see them as permanent. Oh my gosh, I have to go vegan. And I never ever recommend veganism for people within the Kundalini, because it kind of cuts off the options that Grace has to work with you. Sometimes in your process you're going to need meat. Sometimes in your process you're just going to need veggies, and it goes back and forth over the years. Okay, so you never want to draw a line in the sand that says, I'm not going to eat this ever again, because, for whatever the reason is. You want to remain open with it. And so now I'm going to go to see if there are any questions. Mayank Sharma says, I feel vibrations and sweat on the head while meditating. That's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. And Kathy is saying on the 11th. Oh, I see. No, your question is about the scatter field. And the scatter fields will be set at on the 11th. Yeah. Actually, it's a little bit before that, but I don't think most people are up at 3 a.m. So yeah, the scatter fields. Thank you for clarifying that, Kathy. And I say hello to Indra and Susie Snedden. Hello. Kundalini there. That's right. Felicia says, these days I'm feeling towards it is more anger. Don't know how not to feel that way. That's just anger being purged out of your system. Okay? Sometimes in order to purge an expression out of the system, one has to feel it. And one has to respond to that feeling in a different way. A way that is not the normal response to anger. One has to look at the anger and go, do I own this? And if I do, what do I need to do to find peace? And that will come to you. That will come to you. Hello to Gabriel and Ajay and Donnie, and Yasmin Guerrero. And Cindy Janice says, and appetite and breathing. Sometimes I don't feel a need to eat. Sometimes no need to breathe. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. And sometimes you're breathing underwater. Really, breathing underwater. Okay. And some of you wake up to find yourself floating over your bed. And it's not an out-of-body experience. Once again, the divine is a real thing. It is a real thing, and it can do anything that it wants to do with you in order to help you into your transformation, and that includes levitation. Okay? It includes levitation. I don't know what the scientific term for breathing underwater is. Aqua respiration. Hi, Mr. Crow. Hi, guy. It will give you the fantastic. It will give you the wondrous. It will give you the outside of physics and science experience. Okay, and it's not necessarily outside of physics and science. It's just physics and science hasn't got there yet. And so because they haven't got there yet, it doesn't exist for them. That type of a thing for the scientist. And saying hello to Troy and Janice. And Gabriel says, do you never ever eat any sugar like candy, chocolate, for example? Chrism, hope you have not mentioned this. Okay. Well, I have mentioned it, but not in that context. And so it's a good thing. I always hesitate when I talk about these areas because people are so addicted to their sugar. But I have to say, in all truth, she will drive you to eat sugar. She will drive you, the sacred feminine will push you to have a certain type of sugar. If the only sugar that's available that she likes for you to eat, then she'll give that sugar to you, whether it's chocolate or a candy bar or vanilla, whatever it is. She will push you to eat that. Honey, she'll push you to eat the honey. So yeah, she does give the impetus towards sugar consuming, and this is a truth. But I don't want you to get carried away with that. The ego's going, yes, sugar. Oh my God, thank you. No, no, not that way. First of all, you can only do it when she compels you to do it, number one. Number two, it's a very specific type of sugar. And number three, it's a very specific amount. And you'll know when you feel the compelling to get it. You'll know how, all the answers to those different situations. So thank you for asking that, Gabriel. And Susie's saying, some of my massage clients, Kunalini has activated after they said they dreamt of me or got a message from me. Now, Susie, you want to really take this away from you. This isn't you. Okay. Kundalini may use your look. She may use your body. She may use your personality in a dream. She may, people may see the aspect of you that the Kundalini wants to present to them. But it isn't you. It is grace. It is divinity using you as an easy relationship point for these people to perhaps begin their Kundalini journey. Okay, but you really want to take it out of the egotistic. And I'm not suggesting that you're placing it in the egotistic. I am suggesting, though, that it's very easy to do. Okay, especially if you misinterpret some of the dreams that you're getting. I am the light, I am the way, I am the planets that are reflecting the divine light into the earth world. You can really get carried away with this. And you just want to say, it's not me, it's grace, it's the Kundalini, it's divine. I'm just reflecting. I'm a little bicycle reflector. Okay. I hope that landed well for you, Susie. And I don't know. It says replying to student. I don't understand that. Let's see. So let's see. Susie says she makes me puke when I drink alcohol. So the key to that would be don't drink the alcohol ever again. Buchev asks, what is the relationship of knowledge to waking up? Knowledge is gained through waking up. It's something that you gain, but it's not typical knowledge. It's a way of understanding what is happening to you that isn't based in science, that isn't based in the assumptions of veracity due to observation or measurements of weight or replicability. You know, the scientists, going out and killing an almost extinct butterfly because, well, we need to measure it. You better not tell them that you got Kundalini or they're going to cut you open and go, well, we need to measure it. Let's see. So knowledge is really within the Kundalini. Knowledge is what Grace wants you to have in order to help you surrender to the process rather than go into fear and block the process. Knowledge is something that is given, it is downloaded, but it's also something that is experienced. You know when something's absolutely true without having to have it explained to you. Okay, you know what I'm saying. Might hit a button in you where oh my God, that is absolutely true. Okay, these are the elements of knowledge within a Kundalini context that trigger levels of like a truth kriya. It's a divine manifestation of information that she wants everybody to hear, okay, and to know and to understand. I hope that helps. But Cindy Janice says, I've coached people so much in my life about eating no sugar, and now she has me craving it. That's true, yeah. First she drove me away from veganism into now meat eating, now sugar. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's good to read. Good to read that, Janice. And Susie, I totally support stopping the alcohol, and I suggest anybody and everybody. Here's one of the things. I try not to be intractable with certain things, but alcohol is one of the things. Don't do alcohol and have the Kundalini. You might be corrected. She might let you do it a few times, and then you'll kind of get the idea. Oh yeah, I can do this now. And it's really not the case. It's not the case. Do not drink the alcohol. Okay, and it looks like that takes care of all of our questions. I just want to say thank you to everyone who is watching, and may the blessings of divine grace erupt from within you and shower down around you. Thanks for watching.